in total, just what a great team effort in night softball, and especially from the production from the two awesome women to my right and left. It's just amazing to see them fight for each other and get us back into a regional championship game. We haven't been there in a couple of years, and so we're just really excited to have that opportunity and play against one of the top teams.
Yeah, and so this question's for Coco. So obviously you guys as hitters went up against Lauren Dukowski, and despite the defeat, she pitched a great last few innings to sort of hold you guys down. Can you just talk a little about her and what it was like to face her?
Yeah, no doubt she's a great pitcher, of course. I think just going in, trying to stick to the plan that Coach Bear gave us, really committing to it and just trusting each other, passing the bat. Those are cool.
I guess for both athletes here, I kind of want to hear, Michigan was the team that handed you your first loss yesterday, and now to come back in your second game of the day and beat them in a game that was back and forth offensively the whole time. How does that speak to you guys' resilience and fight as you approach the championship game tomorrow?
I think it just shows how much grit we have as a team. Before we got to the field today, like we were talking, we're like, we are not losing, like no matter what, we are going to win both games and we are going to make it to Sunday. So just showing like we were able to show that today, by like no matter what the score was, we were still fighting and still like pushing to get runs across and win today.
You guys are a little bit of a Cinderella story of this tournament. When you took that Michigan, I don't think a lot of people had predicted that. What would you say to people that kind of didn't think you guys were going to be in the game tomorrow?
I'll answer that. We're known as disruptors, and I think that's one of the best parts about being a UCF Knight is we have a strong fan base in Knight Nation. We also have some awesome Knight haters, and we love being disruptors, and that's okay. We talk about being different and appealing, and it takes special people and special women to be able to do what they do. But again, that's why we have that grit and that resilience, because I think we face it every day.
Isabella, you pitched this morning as well against Eastern Illinois and didn't get to start, just get some rest because it was immediate after the second game, but you had to know your number was going to be called at some point in the second game. How were you feeling about that? Were you ready for that? And how did you prepare for a second game of the day?
Yeah, just like flushing the last game, like every game is a new game. No matter what happened, I still needed to be prepared to have my teammates back, and knowing that Jess and Caitlin Felton came in before me, like having their back and making adjustments pitch to pitch and inning to inning, so I can keep the team in a good position to score some runs and win the ball game.
Coach, I mean, obviously Isabella's been a stud for you guys all year. What was your confidence level in her back in this game, despite her pitching 3 games in a row, despite having pitched like just so recently? Like, what did you think about her performance today?
Yeah, well, my confidence is definitely high in her, and that's why we kind of flipped the script and put her in for the high leverage innings. And so she's a good matchup to any hitter, and especially with the 2 other pitchers that threw today, they all complement each other. But with these hitters in postseason, I think you need more, and that's what you're seeing across the board. You're seeing multiple pitchers for every team. So excited that we have this young lady to be able to do that in any position in the game.
You guys have been very reliant on your pitchers all season this year, but these last 2 games in regionals, your offense has really been riding a wave. So how do you anticipate that carrying over into Texas tomorrow?
Well, I mean, I know that they're tough, and they've got their ability to play the game, play defense, run, and pitch. They've got a deep pitching lineup as well. So I think it's going to be a good matchup, and we just have to play our best game. I think the worst thing we could do is go up and play against Texas versus playing against our best selves.
Yeah, and for 3 straight innings, Michigan gave you guys chase offensively by matching the exact amount of runs that you put on the board. So can you just talk about what it was like to go back and forth offensively with Michigan?
I mean, kudos to them. They just had a great run at the end of the year here, and those hitters are so tough, and we talked about it. Some of the best hitters in lineup. I don't think we give up that many runs ever in the year. So those hitters, to be able to do that against all 3 of our pitchers that have thrown the majority of our innings, it really speaks to who they are. Usually somebody comes in and shuts them down right away. So yeah, momentum of innings, definitely not what we wanted from a pitching staff point, but to be able to get 3 zeros for, I think it's 5, 6, and 7, we'll take that.
Anybody on Zoom have any questions?
Yeah, I got a question for Coco. Take me through that at-bat where you hit the home run in the first game there, and how have you felt on the plate? Because you've been really doing well at the plate all weekend.
Just confident, you know, I've been working a lot with Coach Bear. We've been talking a lot, just sticking to the plan, sticking to our approach, not trying to do too much, stay simple and pass the bat to my team.
And then Issa, just tell me, you look like you looked at your best there at the end, the last couple innings there. What was working for you at the end there against Michigan?
I definitely think my mindset, just like knowing that those 3 innings are the most important and we had a lead. So just being able to hold on to that and get our team back in the dugout without Michigan scoring any runs. Because as Coach Bear said and Coco, they're great hitters. So to be able to shut them down was really important for us. And it gives us momentum going into tomorrow.
For the three of you, this is the second UCF team ever to get to a regional final out of the losers bracket. You mentioned it, Issa. You were determined not to lose. Just take me through the mindset from pitch one today against Eastern Illinois to now.
Just trying to get better every single pitch. And then trusting myself and trusting my preparation and everything that Coach Bear and Coach Shannon have taught me. Just and trusting in my teammates and knowing that they have my back and I'm going to do my best to have theirs.
Coach, you stuck with Stormy all year, even when she went through a long slump. Incredible day, 5 hits today, hit the big day, tied a school record for most hits in a NCAA tournament game. Just speak to Stormy setting the tone.
Yeah, I mean, she's a hitter and usually she gets herself out. So, you know, if you can, just like Issa talked about mindset, if we can keep her mindset in the right place, it's really hard to get her out. But even if she does go through kind of a dry spell, pitchers are still fearing her, and that presence in the box is more valuable at times than just a base hit here and there.
Coach Coco talked about how she worked with you from her hitting perspective. I want to ask about your end of those conversations and what have you seen from her that's been different this week that has helped her get 7 hits to this weekend?
Yeah, well, she's swinging at the pitches that she wants. There was like one little mechanical tweak that we talked about, and she's just been, like she talked about plan and approach, she did it, and she's very modest and humble. So at one point in that game, I felt when she did hit the home run, I just felt like, okay, her timing's a little off. She's not making that little adjustment that we talked about. So let's just have her hit away. And hey, she did it. She went for it. And we talk about going hard, and if we fall on our face, we fall on our face. It fell her way. So, you know, it's really special to be able to coach these women the way we are able to. There's so much trust. I am definitely, like, I love big time, but I'm hard on them. And this one right here is really nice. You know, she said, you know, her best part of the game, but I think I was making her focus on getting mad at me a little bit, maybe just a tad bit. But to be able to have that trust and know that it's coming from that place, like I might get a little emotional here, but like, it's awesome to have. And it really speaks to who we are and why we win, because it's the people that we have to our left and right. It's not just the softball players.
For the three of you, what was the difference between your first game against Michigan this weekend versus this one?
I think our grit and our fight, we talked about like our approach offensively, so sticking to that, and then pitching, just like mixing it up and having each other's back, and knowing that our offense has our pitching staff, and that every part of the game is important, and that like we can rely on everyone to make an impact.
Yeah, we talked about how we kind of beat ourselves in that first game, you know, not sticking to our plan, not sticking to our approach. So I think it was just coming back in and falling on our face hard, like Coach Bear said, and sticking to our plan and playing against our best selves, knowing what we do best and how we're successful, and just sticking to that was key for us.
Yeah, and I'll just kind of add to that. I felt like you saw a more external UCF team. And I think that's when we're at our best, is when we're external and we get out of our own heads.
Coach and Issa, you're going up against Texas tomorrow. Issa, you watched as last year's team took on the Longhorns in the Plex. Coach, of course, head coach, and then what do you learn from that series that you apply now that you have to face the Longhorns with such stakes on the line tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we brought a lot of competitive innings from the circle last year in our 3-game series. And what I learned is they're going to have to see different looks. And they're human as well, so we just gotta do our best and kind of stay out of our own way at times. But again, much respect to the opponent we're gonna play tomorrow, but we can't play the name on the jersey. We've got to play against our best selves, and that's when we are our best.
We'll do one more for anybody on Zoom. You guys all good?
All good. Congrats.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.